So I'm talking about primary keys in this video. And what is a primary key in a database? What is a primary key in Access? So a primary key is the one unique field in a table that uniquely identifies every record in that table. Uniquely identifies, and this is how I like to describe it most of the time. So if you look at, say, the government database, the government has a database on everybody, like maybe it's the Ministry of Health or the Ministry of Transportation, where they assign everybody a driver's license, or even in any school, you have student numbers, employee numbers in every office, every place of employment. You have social insurance number as far as the government is concerned. In Canada, people have health cards, health card numbers, driver's license numbers. Now, those numbers, as far as those databases are concerned, so like in a company, employees have employee numbers. In a school, in a college, in a university, students have student IDs, student numbers. Those numbers are the primary keys in the databases of those institutions. So it means that those are the numbers, those are the fields that will uniquely identify. In the case of an office, every employee. In the case of a school, will uniquely identify every student. So a student, I mean, no two students are going to have the same student ID. That's impossible. Otherwise, something is wrong. Same thing with in an office, in an HR department. Everybody has a unique number. Everybody has a unique employee number that uniquely identifies them. Same thing with social insurance number or social security number. Same thing with driver's license number. Same thing with your plate number. Same thing with your health card or something like that. These are fields. So you can say that for the government, the social insurance number will be the primary key in the government database of everybody. In a company, it will be the employee ID. In a school, it will be the student ID. So the primary key is that one unique field that will identify every record in that table, in a table. So when I'm going to open up this table, it's a link table. I'm going to open it up just for the sake of this argument. So here you can see that this data shows us, let me go back. This data shows us employee data, typical employee data. It's just bogus data. It's nobody's data, really. But you have what you will have normally. You have employee ID over here. You have last name, job code, hire date, birth date, the gender or the sex of the employee, the location, the job status. Are they full-time or are they part-time? So you have part-time over here, full-time, the rest of it. You have a how they are paid, pay type. Are they paid on a salary basis or hourly basis? The number of years they've served or worked in the company, and you have the number of years in buckets over here. And then finally, you have the annual salary. Very typical employee HR data, employee data. So if you go to the design view, and I'm going to say ignore this for now, say yes, you can see that if I wanted to call this, I can easily call this employee number or employee ID. Different strokes for different folks. So employee ID here, I can easily make the employee ID the primary key. How can I do that? I can, well, all I need to do is click on this field or select this field and then come here and click on this icon, this key icon over here, which is primary key over here. So, which is the primary key. When I do that, the key, the little key icon is attached to that particular field. I can also do this, come here, right click on it and select primary key. I can also remove it by doing the same thing. I can right click and click on primary key again, and it's gone. It's no more the primary key for that table. So essentially, it's very easy. So for this little example of this very small table that I have, you can see that I have only 4 fields here: first name, last name, date of birth, employee number. And easily I can come here and make this particular field the primary key. And that's it. The key icon is attached to it. I'm going to save it, or it's going to ask me to save it first before I can view it. And I can come here easily and view it in the data sheet view. So if I come here and I say Larry Holmes, something like that, if I enter, make a new entry, and I pick a date, and I come in here and enter an employee number 1002. Let's say I say that. Let's say 1102. 1102. Now, if I try to do that, so what I've done, try to do right now is to enter a number, an employee number in this table that already exists in this table. So Access is going to say no because you're going to violate that primary key rule. And that's what it's saying here. It's saying the changes you requested to the table were not successful because they will create duplicate values in the index or the primary key or the relationship. Change the data in the field or fields that contain duplicate data. See, duplicate data here. Remove the index or redefine some of your entries. So if I say okay, and I make it 1101, it's going to do the same thing because 1101 already exists in this table already over here. So if I come here and I say 1103 or any other entry, it's going to accept it this time. So while it's possible to have two employees, it might be a wild possibility, but while you can have easily two employees with the same name, exactly the same name. It's unlikely, but it can happen. You can have um, two employees or more than one employee with the same date of birth, exactly the same name, and that's possible. But in this particular database, what cannot happen is you cannot have two employees having the same employee number. And that is where you can appreciate the usefulness of a primary key. So that's not going to happen, but I can easily change it to 1104 easily over here. Okay, so that's how primary keys work. And primary keys also help to define relationships between different tables. I'm gonna talk about that in another video, but essentially that's how you can easily design a table and assign primary keys to them. Very easy. Now, is it possible to have a field to have more than one primary key in a single database, in a particular database? Yes, it's possible. That happens all the time. You can have two primary keys in a database very easily. In one table in a database. That's what I should say. Okay, so talk to you soon.